Everyone, and welcome to episode 74 of the ToonamiGAF podcast. I'm Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs.
Hello.
C-Kohler.
Hey, guys.
And Zonic.
Hello.
How's it going?
I'm still playing Danganronpa.
Yes, silence.
Don't spoil it for him, because he will strangle you.
I will actually, if somebody spoiled me and they were on GAF, I would actually try to have Seta ban them. It's like, Seta, get this guy!
Please, Seta, strike down my enemies.
He's like, okay.
Be like that one of them ancient Greek plays where at the end it's just like Zeus throws a thunderbolt and fixes the whole thing.
That's how they all end, just like...
No.
Fuck this shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty much how all of them end. At the very end, he's like, yeah, okay, fuck it, I let this go on a little too long. Let's put an end to it.
This is probably irrelevant, but I recently saw one of those, that Twitter account that combines magic cards with drill tweets.
Yes.
The one, Battle of Wits.
Drill magic.
Dumbass. You shut the fuck up, wise man. No, you shut the fuck up. Anyway.
Moving on.
Random asides. There's some news. First off, are you excited for One Punch Man Season 2?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. JC
About
Staff
that.
is doing it, not Madhouse.
Okay. I just want to point out, I did a little bit of research about the original thing. The director at Madhouse brought in all his Space Dandy friends. So it's one of those things where they were just doing it under the Madhouse umbrella. It wasn't all Madhouse staff.
Well, he's also not the director anymore.
This is true, but I'm just saying this doesn't necessarily mean that next season is going to be trash in comparison. There's still a fair bit of hope. If they treat it the same way, it'll be fine.
But isn't that what the news is? That they're not?
No, it's the news is that they're just switching studios.
I mean, that's a pretty big thing because...
It is, but at the same time, it's like we don't know how much of the staff is going to be different outside the director yet.
I mean, one assumes that if the old director got all of his Space Dandy buddies,
yeah,
the new director does not have Space Dandy
and I would
buddies.
also,
this is true.
I would also assume that a different studio would have different people.
Well, I mean, these weren't Madhouse people. This was basically he freelanced the best guys out.
Right. Well, I get that.
But the most of the grunt work was being done by Madhouse, and Madhouse has a pretty good production pipeline because
this is true.
People would say the number one thing people love about Hunter 2011 is that it looks so consistently good for 140 something episodes.
Right. I think the problem with Madhouse is they hardly ever do season 2s. So it's just that weird thing where,
Yeah. I mean, it's not exact, but imagine if JoJo was suddenly done by someone other than David Pro.
Might not actually be too bad.
I mean, as long as it was
it.
Madhouse or Bones.
Yeah, I mean, my opinion is that I kind of see where you're coming from, B-Dubs, that we can't just assume because it's not the same team that it'll just be worse. But here's the thing. It was so good.
It really was.
I don't understand how any other group of people could really match what was put out in that first season. So it's going to have to take a dive.
Okay, I'm sort of looking at what the studio they got, what JC Staff has done. They did Food Wars, Prison School, just stuff I recognize. Let's see.
Shimonita, is it wrong to try picking holes in the dungeons?
Yeah, Index, Railgun.
This seems like the studio to really bring One Punch Man to life.
It really does.
They don't tend to do a lot of action, or at least being the key focus.
UQ Holder is pretty actiony.
UQ Holder isn't until this season, right?
Yeah, actually, that's not till October.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is going to be sort of the tell to see how well they can handle it. Because Food
if
Wars
it comes out looking like a Studio Perot production, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, Food Wars look pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I would expect that, but here's my fear, is that it's just going to look average. Like, it's going to be well animated, but it's not going to have any of the flair that the first season had.
It probably won't, if only because the manga adaptation is still running and it's not quite through with the arc that's going to be covered.
So the manga adaptation is in a weird place because the manga people know and read is based off the webcomic that looks like garbage, but that's part of the charm. But the webcomic has not been updated in like a year because the author's actual project is Mob Psycho. Right. And so the Murata version has been kind of in a filler thing.
No. The Murata version is he's actually got through up to the next arc finished from the webcomic. So, he can finish that whenever he wants to. It's just a matter of that's the arc that the anime is going to be covering next, and he's not really done with it yet. So they're going to have to actually do all of the storyboarding themselves. They can't just take the Murata version and say, okay, we're just going to make it look like this, which is what they did with season 1.
Well, wait a minute. I think it sounds like you're making some assumptions here. Like, how do you know where season 2's story will end?
Well, I mean, I know the the arc that comes next, and if season 2 isn't just that arc, that's going to be like the craziest cliffhanger you've ever seen in your life.
Well, I mean, I think season 1 ended pretty abruptly too.
I mean, it did, but this one would literally be like, okay, holy crap, the world is ending, and we'll maybe see you again in 30 years.
I don't know. Do we know if it's going to be 12 or 24 episodes?
I think it's another 12. Which is why I'm just assuming they're going to adapt to the arc and, do that.
Yeah, hopefully it's another 12.
Yeah.
Because then it can be like, okay, if they have a big enough budget, that can alleviate some of the production concerns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if it's 25, if it's 2 core, oh boy.
No, if it's, I don't think there's any room for 25. There's not enough material. I mean, Murata's been doing filler, but there's no 25 episodes worth of filler.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd have to do an entire, brand new arc, and at the rate he's going, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
All he's been doing is just filling out the current arc with a bit of filler that really is going to last 2 episodes.
Yeah, sounds like it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about the manga going forward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part of the reason the first season looked so good is because they didn't really have to storyboard all that much. They just had Murata, and he's like, "Yeah, fuck it, we'll just copy what he did."
Yeah.
So they just had to worry about animating. If they do that again, if they're able to do that again, it should look pretty good.
Hopefully, cross my fingers.
Yeah.
Also,
hope to die.
Also, hope it actually, comes out and is nearly as popular again. I hope it doesn't come out and oh, nobody cares anymore, like Attack on Titan.
I mean, as long as it looks really good, I think it'll be okay.
I'm hopeful. Anyway, There was also a promo for Iron Blooded Orphan Season 2.
Yes, there was.
Yeah,
so
it
that's
looks
coming.
Right. I mean, it kind of starts out a bit, politically heavy, which I guess I should expect.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take hair gel mines on the moons of Uranus instead of, whatever the fuck was in Unicorn.
This is true.
I think they were literally fighting over an old document.
They actually were, if I remember right, they were fighting over what was the equivalent of the original Constitution. Like if the U.S. Constitution had no like 3/5 clause in it originally or something, and someone like, squeezed that in a fake one.
If like literally everyone signed it and it said there is no slavery,
and then someone like stole it and then faked one that said there's slavery.
Nicolas Cage.
That son of a bitch. He's just broke enough that he might do that.
What are you gonna do, Nicolas Cage? Gonna steal the Constitution? No, I'm gonna steal the original Constitution, the one no one knows exists, and the Declaration of Independence
from Gallarhorn.
Yes. Well, one of the things that I thought was kind of weird in the trailer was they had this thing. It's like after Gallarhorn fell, everyone wanted to make their own like little military, outfit thing.
Well, it was
bunch
basically
of private ones. Yeah, I know.
This
but at the same time,
thing seems hot shit.
Yeah, why don't we all do that? It was just one of those things. I'm like, really? Because if I was in charge of like, a country, I'd be like, fuck it, those guys are gone. Let's make our own. Damn it! I don't want to have to go paying some like random dude that's quite possibly incredibly corrupt. I want to get on corruption shit.
Well, it can't be worse than Tokyo Ghoul.
This is true. No matter what, we're getting an upgrade here.
Like the last time I said something like this, it was like, man, no matter what, the thing that replaces a Kame ga Kill can't be worse than a Kame ga Kill. And it was Dimension W, and it wasn't worse, but It
was just boring.
It wasn't better.
No.
Anyway, no, I think judging by what people were posting in the thread, I think spirits are pretty high about this new season. I mean, mostly just because people are eager to have what's his face back being a badass.
Oh yeah, that dude just kills people.
Yeah.
Mikazuki's gonna kill some fuckers this season.
Yeah, that's all he does. All he does is kill, kill, kill.
He takes off his shirt, gets in his mech, and he just
murders people.
Like Banaj is like, and Mikazuki's like. Anyway, Dio Yokio is a thing.
Oh yeah, I haven't actually watched that. How garbage is it?
This Toblerone.
You don't deserve this Toblerone.
Like the Flash.
I haven't seen it yet, and
that's all I know.
By judging, here, let me finish. But just judging by what I've seen peripherally, it feels like this would be like some kind of passion project of what's his face, the kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it is
Jaden.
Yeah, Jaden. Thank you. Yeah, it's Jaden Smith's little passion project. But what remains to be seen is whether or not it's terrible because he wanted it to be, or if it's like ironically terrible, or if it's just like he doesn't realize how bad it is, and it's like so bad it's good.
It's probably it seems like The Room.
How old is he? Like, let's just start from there.
Mentally?
No, like age, like actual age.
18?
Oh yeah, no, that's garbage on purpose then.
Yeah,
no.
No. At that age,
this is the guy who tweets like bizarro.
No. At that age, you're more likely to accidentally make something good than you are to accidentally make something bad.
He's a child celebrity. They're not exactly normal people.
So it's still more likely to be bad.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Like 12 mentally.
Mental age, it could totally be that this is an actual passion project and it just comes out. And basically it seems like it is on the level of the Ghost Stories dub.
The Ghost Stories dub was fantastic. You shut your mouth.
I mean, no, this looks amazing. This actually looks like something I might watch because it looks so... Like, there's a character named Archangelo.
I mean...
The main character has a Gundam butler.
That is amazing.
It does feel like a parody. I mean, again, having not seen it, just seeing shots and little stuff, it just looks like a parody. So I have to assume that it's not meant to be taken seriously.
I don't know.
Again,
like people that I know have watched it have been like comparing it to GPX and saying this is worse. So it might just be like The Room.
It looks like that How to Draw manga book.
Oh, yes. And it sounds like a Lost 4Kids dub.
I mean, this show features the voice acting talents of Jude Law.
Jude Law.
Yeah.
So this really does seem like Jaden Smith, like Will Smith was like, okay, for your birthday, what do you want? And he was like, I want to make this anime. And Will Smith was like, I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to get all my friends to do the voices.
I mean, he did exactly the same. He did the same thing with After Earth. I mean,
that's true.
After Earth was nothing but a vehicle to give Jaden Smith something to do, you know.
I mean, that could have been something good, but it was just bad.
I mean, that clip of like, I can see you, bitch. You're wearing a black suit against a midnight blue sky.
He's 19, by the way.
Oh, whatever. I was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more likely to be accidentally good than it is to be accidentally bad.
Is that on Netflix?
Yes, it is.
Oh, Netflix.
Yep. We're not going to get it, so don't worry.
What do you mean? Well, maybe April Fools in a few years.
Oh,
I will say, I mean, it definitely just has the aesthetics and makings of an Adult Swim show.
Yeah.
Like a mid-2000s Adult Swim show.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Back when every anime looked like that.
Well, hell, remember? Didn't they had a show like this, like Best Hair or something?
Perfect Hair Forever.
Just gonna make that comparison.
Sorry?
Oh, I was saying it was Perfect Hair Forever. That was the show.
Okay.
Yeah. That was Adult Swim's like anime parody show.
Yep.
Back when they did cool stuff like turn old cartoons into,
talk shows.
C-Lab. Anyway, that's all the news of the world that's fit to print. Let's talk about Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super Episode 34, Piccolo vs. Frost. Stake it all on the Special Beam Cannon. Seacaller, what did you think of this episode?
It was okay. I mean, it was. I did like how even Piccolo just comes out. He's like, "Yeah, I know. I'm only good for softening up the bad guys."
Piccolo has definitely reached like way too self-aware.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he apparently can create shadow clones.
Mm-hmm.
He probably stole that technique from Tien.
Also, I'm kind of glad. I'm really glad that faux nice Frost is gone.
Yeah, I was
just like, creepy. Oh, finally, he's evil. Yes. And he's straight up a Bond villain.
Yeah,
yep.
I'll straight up. I'm not going to front. I did not see that coming. I actually thought he was a good guy. So the show tricked me. I thought he was going to be a normal good guy, but then they're like, no, that was just all a trick.
No, he has some words for you.
Yeah.
How could you be so foolish?
And so
I guess I was playing too much into the whole like, oh, Universe 6 or Universe 7 is like a mirror of our universe.
Yeah, that is what they were going for originally. But also keep in mind that Goku's probably going to come back at the very end of the tournament now because, obviously that's how he got knocked out.
Yeah, I was surprised they... Oh, so, sorry, go ahead.
Because I was questioning that, because if Piccolo came back, why didn't Goku?
Nobody's bothered to check him for, like, a spot where he got stung yet.
Yeah, well, I will say the rules for this tournament seem to be not very consistent, or they're being thrown out the window constantly.
They're very fly-by-night.
I liked that thing where it's like, even in this tournament, the referee is even above a god of destruction. And, Whis is like, really? And Beerus is like, no.
Fuck no. He's just going with it because, he hates Champa and he wants to fuck with him.
And Vados is just like, you didn't say shit about them being good guys.
I kind of like Vados because she's like, she seems like the one in control of Champa, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the same with Whis and Beerus, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. That's why I like the Angels are like this end bad guys of all of Dragon Ball Super, because they just like, here's the God of Destruction. Whis totally has him under his little finger. They know exactly the buttons to push.
Oh, yes.
So otherwise, the animation's still, eh.
Yeah, but Piccolo is pretty cool this episode. He got the win, you know, if not for the cheating. Which was pretty, that was a pretty impressive gambit the whole way through, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I really wish it would have connected.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we know he got the win.
I also forgot that he could do that arm stretchy thing. He basically became Luffy.
Everybody forgets that until the movies. I'm surprised they, actually used it for the series, because that seems like this sort of thing that only the guys that make the movies remember. Oh yeah, you can do that arm stretch thing. We can show off some animation stuff.
He's like doing a gummo no.
Yo ho ho! He ate a bite of the gum gum.
Anyway. The only other thing that happened at the end is that they basically, Vegeta's like, screw it, I want to fight him, and it basically ends up like making the Earth team pretty much in dire straits just because Vegeta wants to have a fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think this one counts. You know, like he's already been eliminated for cheating.
Yeah.
And Piccolo sort of backed out, so it's all tied up. But do you really think Vegeta's going to lose to this little guy?
No, I don't. But I just mean that, like, it's again, like I said, they're playing it really fast and loose with the rules here because, like, we were like ahead because he cheated, and he's like, no, let him fight, and then like, it's like now if you did lose this, we'd be screwed.
Well, Vegeta's gonna Vegeta.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, anyone that beats up Goku, Vegeta's got to try himself against it, whether he cheated or not.
I mean, he did get screwed out of beating actual Frieza, so not Frieza.
I mean, it's as close as he's going to get.
Anyway, Zonic, anything else on this episode?
I guess it was kind of interesting to see Chi-Chi actually care about Goku, just jumping people.
That's like the most exercise she's done in a long time.
Yeah. I mean, outside of that bit where she trained Goten.
Yeah. Kind of made me wish that once I saw her jump down in the ring, it's like, just fight.
Just I mean,
I know she's out of her league, but like, it's such a
fuck
shame.
That she can do it.
These characters, like, you know, they just, gosh, don't make them sit by this. The moment they have a kid, they have to like give up being warriors. That's so stupid.
Why can't you just switch in Android 18 for Boo?
Yeah,
but Boo isn't in the tournament.
I mean, just switch in. Just be like, call an audible. It's Android 18.
That would be awesome.
But no.
I mean, she's at least like Piccolo tier, you know?
Heck yeah.
Oh, well, maybe not.
I mean, maybe a little below, but still, you know?
No, she's definitely above Piccolo.
No. Piccolo was kicking 17's ass in the Cell Saga, remember? It went like 17 was stronger than 18, and then when Piccolo finally fused, he was fighting even with 17.
I mean, power levels are bullshit.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Especially in the new arc, where they are even more bullshit because everyone's just dicking around.
I can't wait. Anyway, who wants to talk about Dragon Ball Z Kai?
Speaking of bullshit power level...
Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapter is episode 133. Hold Majin Buu in check. Limit Super Saiyan 3. So after Babidi got to cut his promo, here comes Goku. He also gets to cut a promo.
Of course he does.
And Babidi is speaking for the audience when he says things like, "Do you have a chart or something to explain these Super Saiyan power levels?"
We could use one, actually.
I mean, it's very simple. Oh, no, go ahead.
Babidi.
I'm sorry, I talked over you, Zonic.
I could put a wig on and be called Super Babidi.
He was pretty funny this episode. I'll give him credit.
I also liked Boo's. Just Goku just talks to him for like 5 seconds, and he's already like, "I'm gonna kill Babidi." Like if Goku just offered him some candy, he would probably off Babidi right then and there.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I stand by what I said before. That
He'd
Babidi,
be down with it.
He's on thin ice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the ever since Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Like this ends with him being like, "You can't do this to me. I created you."
Right.
Who cares?
But of course, the whole episode was building up to everyone's favorite Super Saiyan power, Super Saiyan 3, aka Cro-Magnon Goku.
I mean, honestly, the transformation is still pretty hype because the whole world is shaking and the clouds are drawing in. And it's it's really cool. It's just the transformation itself looks dumb.
And in the original series, it was like an entire episode.
Oh, seriously, it was like 20 minutes of him just yelling and then reaction faces from everyone in the goddamn series. Like people we haven't seen in like 30 years were having reaction faces.
I saw Chaozu.
Blue Dog King had a reaction face.
Mercenary Tao.
He had a in the OG one. He definitely had a reaction face.
Really?
I think I know Blue Dog King 100% had a reaction face. He had like a whole thing like, this guy looks a little familiar. He looks a little bit like that kid that beat King Piccolo. Nah.
So anyway, other than that,
yeah, it was not a whole lot happened.
That's the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
it was
pretty hype.
You got some good
hype though.
on Boo. I mean, we obviously know that's.
I mean, he was clowning Boo.
So.
I mean, Boo hasn't even changed forms yet.
Right.
Yeah. That actually is a little weird. Like when it comes to it, we're gonna have there's gonna be like a weird discussion about it. But like, if Goku wanted to, he probably could have killed Boo with this form. Like if he actually decided, I'm gonna just murder this guy.
They I think they almost oversold this Super Saiyan upgrade because, like, it's like, this is so amazing, it's shaking the earth, and all I can think about is like, so you're telling me the combination, the fusion is going to be better than this? Like, I don't know.
I mean, it's going to be weird. It's just one of those things, like, he totally could have just finished the job, but he didn't for whatever reason. I don't know. I mean, it's like, but remember, there's this, like, huge gap between, Super Saiyan 2 and 3, so, I'm sure the fusion will land somewhere in there.
Yeah, something like that. I'm sure it'll be useless.
No, I'm sure it'll be useful for like 3 episodes and then it'll be useless.
But yeah, this was an episode about a transformation and it's kind of played out.
Mm-hmm. But B-Dubs is right. They did a good job of making it feel pretty hype.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty cool. Like looking, I mean, I know he looks stupid, but like the way it was animated that he was upgrading and like, yeah, he did have like literally a 20-minute long, yell session.
That dude was just constipated.
Yeah.
Like making it hype is your one job.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a good job. I mean, it felt hype. I just know that I think it's weak in the long term because I've seen Super.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, in those terms, it's like some weak ass shit. But I will say there was this one episode with High School Gohan that I don't think made it into Kai, where he gets blackmailed by this girl and has to go on a date with her. And then at the very end of the episode, he decides to try fixing his problems by yelling as loud as he can, as long as he can. And then he's just surprised that it's not working. He's like, I'm yelling at these two girls to get them to not tell my secret, and it's not working. Why isn't this working? I'm going to try again. And it doesn't work.
Why'd they cut it?
I don't know. High School Gohan is the best part of this freaking arc, and they cut like half of it.
They cut like half of good Videl.
I know.
Anyway, let's move on to JoJo.
Okay.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Episode 8, Devil. Well, enough with that orangutan nonsense. Here's some violence.
Uncensored.
I do like me some uncensored violence.
Whoo boy, is it uncut.
Yeah, I did not go into this episode expecting to see a guy's face sliced off.
That was the best part.
I mean, did you see Devo at the end? He got put through a can opener. He came out like that one the SpongeBob episode where Squidward goes into the future and he goes into the can opener room. He came out like that.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool episode. I mean, I guess it was okay. I wasn't like super into it. And I think one of the problems with this episode, if I want to be critical, is that I get the joke. I get this is the joke, but it's so stupid that like, hey, where's Polnareff? Why isn't he here yet? There's this dangerous stand user nearby. Where's Polnareff? Why is he taking so long? It's like, what do you think's going on, dummies?
I mean, literally at the end of the episode, he walks into the room covered in blood, and they don't even notice.
Yeah, they're like,
are you guys serious?
Where were you, bro? We needed your help.
So I think the show might actually be aware of that.
Yeah, I think I get it. That's the joke. Yeah, it just felt a little kind of like frustrating. It's like, just somebody go check on him.
But also this joke will be repeated because basically whenever Polnareff is away from the group more than like 10 meters for more than 3 seconds, he is immediately attacked by the stand user.
I mean, I will say that I liked this episode more than I liked the last couple. So, you know, like, I had some fun with it. I'm like, yeah, this is cool.
I mean, the last couple were the low point of the part.
Mm-hmm.
And of JoJo.
So this stance was called Soul Sacrifice?
No, that was the guy's name.
Oh, the guy. That's right.
That was
the
a
actual
name
stand is called... Oh, sorry.
That was a name change. It was it
Soul
Devo
Survivor?
I think was the original name?
It was Devo the Cursed or something.
Oh.
So wait, they changed it from one band reference to a different?
Well, I suppose Soul Sacrifice is more generic and...
Yeah. Or maybe they thought they could get away with it because it's a song name.
I mean, that won't stop them later.
Yeah,
but I think it was mostly that they thought that Soul Sacrifice was safe because I guess
Devo is like more popular.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, the stand is actually called Ebony Devil.
Okay.
And the stand is not, in fact, the doll.
Okay, that's even more confusing.
So you saw the stand come out of him, right? It was like the weird, like insect alien-looking thing.
Oh, I vaguely remember that. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So we get a lot of stands that are like, hey, it's a physical object, but it's really just kind of like the punch ghost possessing the physical object. You just never see the punch ghost.
Okay.
And so in this case, you saw both. It was like, here's my stand, and then it goes into the puppet. Because like the puppet, like basically, the puppet only starts moving after he like jumps off the balcony.
Yeah, they had to do it once to sort of let everyone know that, hey, this can work this way too.
I like that there was a line in the show where right when Polnareff starts to win, and he's explaining his technique of using the mirrors to smash mirrors to find him, and he goes, "Sucks to be you."
I'll slice off everything except your balls.
You can tell that the localization team, I think, are having fun with this show.
That's always the best is, when you're bringing it over and you get to, have a little bit of fun with it. You don't got to be serious because no matter what you do, it's not going to translate over 100%. So you may as well just, have some fun.
Just have fun.
Yep.
I mean, I people who really like get uppity if there's like not a super dry literal translation. That's
Oh no! Every anime I've ever seen where they like took some liberties with the dialogue and the translation to make it work better has always been better in my opinion. Like Kill la Kill is another great example where if they, if I watched that originally subtitled and the dub is so much better because it just the things that the characters say, while not exactly the same, always come out sounding better in English.
Yeah, it's as long as they keep the spirit of what the original translation was. It's okay if they don't say it word for word.
Right. Yeah, I think it's an improvement. And that's exactly what localization and, dubbing is supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be making it more accessible.
Right. Not only more accessible, but I have a professor who did literary translation from, she did Kafka and stuff. And it's this thing where you're supposed to bring it over, but if you were to do a literal translation, it'd be janky and ugly and like it wouldn't read well. It just sound weird. So like it's on you to figure out sort of the best way to phrase this while keeping meaning and, any sort of puns or anything.
It's usually the other way around where like you don't notice it as much when they do take the liberties, but you really notice it when they don't. When they do be too literal and it just sounds stupid or weird.
Hello, Bleach.
Yeah, or they'll be like, I must do this for my justice. It's like, what? Nobody talks like that.
Hello, Naruto.
Mm-hmm.
AKA Viz when they don't care.
Yeah. Viz when they're translating 600 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things, like, you can go too far and do, like, the Ghost Stories dub, which is fantastic in its own right, but is probably a horrible representation of what the show's actually about.
Like, that's a good example of where it can, like, you can go too far and have fun with it, but anybody who was even remotely a fan of that original show...
They probably hated it.
Oh, my God, they have to hate it.
Yeah.
It's a mockery.
Mm-hmm.
I get three like clips in from like the compilation videos on YouTube, and then in the third one, that one girl's just like, so when I was volunteering at the Jesus Christ Homosexual Rehabilitation Center. Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
and there was
dubs have not aged very well. You can tell they were a product of time.
I mean, the Ghost Stories dub is literally just an official abridged series, and not even a current day abridged series. An abridged series from like the
early 90s at least.
When like Naruto abridged was the second largest and most popular one.
No, I mean, I think the Ghost Stories dub was from well before that.
I know, but it's the style of it's basically that's the style of abridging. It more closely matches.
Yeah.
I mean, the style of abridging that was, instead of like kind of doing the characters but slightly humorous, let's just make a comedy bit for this character.
Let's go Shin-chan.
Like Rex and Weevil are just Beavis and Butthead.
I mean, that could totally work. You just got to be really careful with that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, want to talk about? No, we don't. Want to talk about? Yes, we do have to talk about Tokyo Ghoul. Route A. Tokyo Ghoul, Route A, Episode 11, Deluge of Flowers. Fuck these titles.
I was drunk at the time, so I don't remember it.
Well, so
the our protagonist killed the good guy.
He's not
Wait,
dead.
what? Wait.
Well, I mean, he's not dead, but Kaneki killed the lead CCG guy character.
Oh, yeah. So the dumb guy killed the other dumb guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and then the big reveal at the end. Surprise! Bandage Girl was really the owl.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the owner's daughter, I think.
I thought it was his son.
I think that was a swerve to confuse us, yeah.
Did he maybe actually say his child or something? I don't know. Whatever.
No,
It doesn't. It's not worth the. It was pretty obvious the second the owl started to speak, and it was like, "I'm really high pitched and squeaky."
Yes.
Oh God.
Also, I was kind of dying at the animation of when Stitch's kid was just 5 different times. He just "I'm gonna run at you," and then it's like,
I'm gonna run at you again.
Because the very beginning of the episode was his partner who had armor, one-hit kill. Stitches has no armor, runs at him 5 times. Oh, just gonna slowly get back up.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
that owl is very particular about who it wants to kill, I guess.
Also, none of the ghouls are actually dying in this episode. In this arc. Even old guy is somehow still alive.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yes. You need to watch the end of the episode. Oh, you know what though? Maybe
his head got chopped off.
It was an after credit scene.
I mean, I was drunk at the time, so I'm whatever. I just wandered in.
So basically, what happens in case you miss it, because there could be other people who missed it too. At the very end of the episode, the owl pukes up the old guy's body, and then it reveals that the old guy is actually still alive, and then the owl starts to change, and then it turns into this naked girl, which is the girl with the band-aids, and then she lands, she's like, "Hello, father," and then the guy's "Oh, it's you," and then that's it.
She puked him up?
She ate him to run away.
Yeah, to carry him.
But I mean,
that's pretty. Now that's what I call edge.
Now let's talk about the scene where the bunch of no-name faceless ghouls have surrounded not Anthony Anderson and not Luigi.
Yeah.
And other dudes, and then suddenly they're like, "Let's get him!" And then Anthony Anderson is like, "Look at my mouth," and Luigi stares, and they're like, "Oh no, we're gonna die!"
I was tuned out in that scene because I just don't care about these people.
Nobody does.
Especially when they just get introduced in this episode without any dialogue at all.
Yeah.
Also,
Go ahead.
Guy who was afraid of dying, he died. He got munched on by the worm thing.
Because edge.
Edge.
Guess what, guys? I've got some really, really good news for you.
What?
Is it over?
One more episode.
Oh, God. Wait, there's still one left?
Yes. Sorry. It's as good as it gets.
No!
Surprise! Still, it's a rerun slot.
No!
Oh, God.
That would suck.
It's replacing Attack on Titan in the back of the block. You still have to see it in lineup promos.
They must know that that's never going to work.
I mean, whatever. So at the end of the episode, Kaneki stumbles into Gonteku, and there's his buddy whose name I forget.
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh,
Who
yeah.
cares?
The guy who's basically Ryuji from Persona 4.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you compare him to Ryuji. Ryuji's a bro.
I just mean he looks like him.
Oh, yeah. This is true.
And he's the best friend character, so.
But yeah, I can't wait to see how this ends. I can.
I can wait. I don't
could
need
wait
to see.
Forever.
I don't need to know.
I could die right now and be satisfied that I don't know how this ends. Please
This
kill me.
Fair.
Let's talk about Hunter x Hunter.
Okay.
Hunter x Hunter episode 67, 1515.
220. 220. Oh, wait, it's not a math problem.
Yeah. You see, the X's are silent. So in this episode, that one woman has some physics.
Yes, she does. She's definitely got some physics. This is a very plot heavy episode, guys.
At first, it's like, okay, I can see him bouncing her once or twice, but like every shot pretty much had boingies going on.
They got really tired of drawing men all the time, so when they finally got to draw a girl,
yeah,
I mean, especially a girl that had some. Does anyone remember anything else?
Nobody knows how to respond to that.
Yep.
Anyway,
so Killua was kind of a dick.
I think he was justified.
You know, he probably was.
She was a dick first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, what was in this episode? Oh, yeah. Genthru and his dudes stole those cards.
Yes, they did.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. I could not give less of a shit about anything if it doesn't involve Gon and Killua training with Bisky.
Well, the two plot lines are about to intersect, so.
Yeah,
Hooray!
Go ahead.
I was just saying hooray.
Oh, no,
oh, okay. I was going to say, yeah, I'm with you, Grex. This card stuff, like, I think the guy who created Hunter x Hunter is way more into this than the viewers are.
Oh, seriously.
Like, after he's introduced the 128th card, I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah, honestly, the names of the cards or most of that shit doesn't even matter. You just need to know that they've almost got 99 now.
Yeah, but that's the problem is they just keep like, I've got the blah 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 card and it can do blah, and it's like, okay, we don't care. Just get to the point.
It literally doesn't matter. There's like all of maybe 5 cards that actually matter by the end of the arc.
Yeah. But like I said, I think the creator just loved creating all those cards and just like look, I made this one. It does this. This is cool.
Yeah. And I think part of it is you'll understand it sort of at the end of the arc, but not before that, if only because you don't know what the prize for clearing the game is, other than, the $20 million. Or 20 billion or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's a very specific prize, and sort of once you find out what it is, it's like, oh wow, I wonder what, like it brings that back in, but we find out about it way too late to actually care about any of this crap.
So everyone's kind of teaming up, and that it turns out that one of the cards is called Strip of Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And it can only apparently be gotten when like 15 different people all teleport into one place at the same time.
Yep,
yeah, because they're going to do a raid quest.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only. I mean, this is pretty much the only raid quest in the entire game. It's like, it's funny because the whole game is set up to not work together, to clear it, and yet in order to do so, you got to team up with 15 different guys.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool for this group because obviously they, the other guys, the bad guys, don't have that many.
Oh yeah, they're screwed.
Yeah, that is kind of. This kind of does make it so that only like team players can actually win the game.
Yeah. which is kind of funny because it's up until now the game has sort of shown that prioritizing stealing and working alone or in small, in tiny groups is sort of the way to go.
Yeah, I mean it's a smart thing for them to build into the game. Yeah.
Like it completely changes the dynamic of how it would need to be played.
Also, straight up, don't tell anyone that's what you have to do.
Yeah, no, I don't tell nobody.
Like that's the intention is like, let's get it to where nobody can get strip of beach, and just then eventually like more than 15 people just have to be like, okay, let's put our heads together and let's go to this place.
Yeah, we know that's where it is.
They didn't even know they were doing it. Like they just did that, and then they were like, "Oh wait, I think that's what we just did unlock the quest."
Yeah,
which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, always exhaust all the NPC dialogue.
So, are these NPCs real people? I can't tell.
No, they're just most of them are just Ned.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like those like puppet ninjas from like the York New Arc.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There are some real people sort of mixed in there, though.
I was going to say, 'cause it'd be a really boring life to just be an NPC in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, it would kind of be like a horrifying thing because you were like, I can't stop.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you'll know the real people when you see them because they don't act like NPCs, even though they're supposed to be.
Or get turned into cards.
That's right. Some of them do. Yeah.
Yeah, they won't get turned into cards.
Anyway, guess we're gonna do a raid next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently dodgeball's close.
Oh yes, that's actually really cool.
Want to talk about Lupin the Third?
Okay.
Lupin the Third, Part 4, Episode 13, The Dream of Italy, Part 2, part. In this episode, weird shit.
Definitely weird shit. All right, so who thinks Nick's probably just memorized everything that was on the wall?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
totally 100%, like, he just memorized all that shit.
Yeah, and getting back to this dream, like, okay, I don't know, again, I can't place this show. It's entertaining. I like the characters, but I do not understand this show because some episodes are gory as hell. Other episodes have weird mystical crap like this, where it's like, oh yeah, this guy just wrote himself into a book.
What, you never saw Read or Die?
But, well, yeah, okay. But my point is, like, I didn't expect Lupin to be like that. I thought Lupin to be like, hey, it's these crazy guys, they're robbing banks, and they're getting chased by the police. No, we got ghosts, we got metaphysical worlds being written into magic books. It's weird.
I mean, Lupin's got Lupin is one of those characters that's been around so long and has been through so many incarnations that you can pretty much do anything you want to with him. He's like Japanese Bugs Bunny in that way. Like, if you decide you want to do, like, whatever the fuck you want to do with him, he's done it before, there's precedent, just go buck wild.
But that's probably my only complaint. I mean, it's not really even a complaint. It's just an observation. It's just like...
Yeah, it's like you weren't...
Weird stuff happens. But it was a good episode. It was weird and interesting and different.
Yeah. He actually got caught by Pops at the end, though. That was
I'm sure that's going to stick.
Oh, no, that's definitely going to stick.
Series over, guys. Let's all go home.
I mean, so far it's stuck longer than it usually does. I mean, usually whenever Pops gets the handcuffs on him, he pops the hand off and it turns out, oh, it's just a puppet hand the entire time. I'm actually free. And he
Sonic,
runs
what did you think
off.
of this episode? Sonic?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were someone else.
He's playing Danganronpa.
Zenigata just to be another person, one of like Jigen or whoever to be in a mask. And I in that dream sequence, every cut was a crossfade. Like there was never a solid cut. It would always fade to the other scene, which I thought was really neat thing to do to symbolize the fact that it was all a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there were like bugs crawling on everything. It was very weird.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was weird and creepy, and you knew that whatever was going on wasn't normal. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of neat to see Rebecca's backstory. Although I have to admit, there's a bit of a finality to this with her. I don't know if she comes back, but kind of felt like that might be the last we see of her.
She has to come back. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, she comes back. Come on.
Rebecca!
Like, the whole point of this one was now she can move forward and do what she wants to do, and who's to say what she wants to do isn't save Lupin?
Well, okay, but what's cool is, but I will say that, like, it would not have surprised me if this was, like, how she left the series. Because they kind of set it up that way, but okay.
It would be weird if she's left in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just a little.
She's a weird character.
Yeah, I mean, she do what she want.
I straight up didn't recognize her without her green hair.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Like even though the voice is the same.
Yeah, she looked like a different character with like the brown hair or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's just a little weird, but I mean, it's Lupin. He had a crossover with Detective Conan at one point, so he does what he wants.
I still think it's ridiculous that at no point does Goemon ever do anything.
Well, I mean, he's way too broken for this.
Goemon is kind of like, out of everyone in the show, feels like the most sort of unnecessary as a character.
Yeah. Like
Jigen's got something going on. Like there's something cool about him, and he's interesting. And then all of the other characters are interesting, but like Goemon is just sort of like, he doesn't even seem to fit like the era. Like I don't even know why he walks around dressed as he does.
I mean, he's supposed to be based on the famous like Japanese thief.
Well, yeah, I get that, but like it doesn't make sense. Like,
yeah, no, it's
he didn't come through a time warp, did he?
No, he's just that's what he is.
Yeah, so he just feels out of place.
You get used to him after a while.
Also, is Zenigata secretly Goemon level? Because he just like looks at the bloodstains and is like, yes, they were shot this many times from here, here, and here.
He's surprisingly competent. It's just that Lupin and his boys are just 12 levels above him.
Anyway, want to talk about Naruto?
I guess.
Naruto Shippuden episode 174, Tale of Naruto Uzumaki. And so we finally arrive at Talk no Jutsu.
Can we cancel it now and have something else?
No.
Please?
We have to get to the thing with Danzo.
Oh, right. We have to get to Danzo's secret power. God. It's going to be painful waiting for that. But it's going to be so good when it happens.
Like, they should cancel it right then. Just he reveals that thing, and then just like, tune in next week for Boruto.
or just get something in there instead.
The dumbest mic drop of all time.
So Naruto explains to Pain that he's right because the book that Pervy Sage wrote has his name in it.
Yep.
Like, literally, like, Pain gets done with his story, and then he's like, well, what's your response? And Naruto says, like, a sentence, and Pain is like,
fuck it.
What? My entire world is shattering around me.
Yeah, it's total bullshit.
It's It's like the Gecko It's like the Gecko ending of Soul Eater, where the villain is just like, "What?"
Except it's canon.
Yeah.
Like, this is clearly worse than just ending it with a fight.
Yeah, it's like they should have just ended it with Naruto like stabbing him in the chest, and that's it.
And why does Conan have to be this weak character who just does whatever she's told?
Because she's the girl of the group.
Yeah.
So frustrating. All I could think about when
in her defense, she has
every time Pain was talking, and then Conan's like, "Pain, no," or whatever his name is. She calls him by his real name.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh no, don't say that." And I'm just like, "Why don't you just take over for him?" Like,
yeah, just like murder him and be in charge. You're strong enough. You can do that. In her defense, she has one cool moment coming up eventually.
Wow, that's surprising.
But only the one, and it lasts for like 3 seconds.
Zonic, you still don't watch the show, right?
That's right.
The wisest man on the podcast.
Yep.
Please tell me your secrets, wise man.
Explain to us.
I take all the anger I put towards Shippuden and put it towards Dragon Ball Z Kai.
Okay, the words of the wise.
Yeah.
But would you watch Boruto if they put it on?
No.
Maybe.
I think he would try it.
I hope so. I mean, I've heard kind of good things about it.
Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm out. I wouldn't watch it. You know, I'd be like, okay, screw it.
It can't be Shippuden.
I guess how much knowledge I would need from Shippuden, because the last thing I want to do is watch it and be like, who the hell are these people?
I mean,
you don't need a whole lot.
The answer is just don't care.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Anyway, so literally this episode is literally just like Naruto says to the villain, "Yeah, but no," and the villain's like,
"Okay,
I instantly change all of my beliefs, and I'm gonna fix everything."
Oh my god, I forgot. He casts a magic retcon beam.
Yep.
I mean, that hasn't technically happened yet, but yes.
I mean, it's obvious.
You were wondering, man, it isn't crazy that they're like killing Kakashi. And it's like,
no, he's fine.
Yeah, that is crazy.
They basically they basically said something like, it's like he can combine all the powers of his visual prowess, and then they cut to a shot of that giant crater, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna go away, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
Well, the crater won't go away.
Oh really? Oh okay.
But everyone who's dead is gonna be alive.
Oh boy.
Yep.
I mean, I would have thought everything would just be like back to normal. Frankly, I would not have been surprised.
I mean,
it doesn't go that far, but yeah,
it goes far enough.
Yes.
I mean, this is one of the worst moments in Naruto because it's like, look at this arc that has massive consequences. Nope.
And now it has none.
Yeah. And also, I hate it when they say visual prowess.
It's the worst.
It's so stupid. What does that mean?
I don't know. It makes me want to like weep and then die.
My eyes. I have visual prowess. It's unmatched. What, you can see really good? Eyes. You ate a lot of carrots? What the hell are you talking about?
It's literally just that GIF, like fake Mass Effect GIF with the contact commercial. I have special eyes.
That's it exactly.
Yep.
Anyway, that's enough about this show. Anything else about Naruto?
Can we cancel it?
Let's get to the best show of the night.
Yeah, sure. You could say that. Outlaw Star, Episode 5, The Beast Girl, Ready to Pounce. So, basically, in the lead-up to this show, people have been telling us how annoying this character is. And I find I do not agree.
And I will back you up on that 100%. This was an amazing episode, made amazing by an amazing character. Aisha.
I'm glad someone likes her.
She's fun.
She really is, but at times it can get a little old. Like, it's not as bad as everyone says it is, though.
I mean, probably the 750th time we're hearing Kataro Empire sounded out loud in full, it's going to be like, okay.
No, it's going to be Aisha Clan followed by Kataro Empire.
Yeah.
Like there's episodes you hear that like 10 times. It's like, okay, I'm done with this now.
Like, somebody was like, why haven't they shortened Kataro Empire into something else? And it's like, have you seen these people? They would lose their goddamn minds.
Seriously. They love that shit.
Everyone would die.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why did Rey take over the universe? Because someone decided to say, like, Kataro Empire instead of Kataro.
Or Kataro squared.
Root Kataro.
I just like the fact that, like, she is bumbling. Like, I actually wasn't sure if that was going to be the way she is, but she is actually kind of a bit of a doofus and kind of
a bit
klutz and stuff. And it's like, great. It's like, I can get that she's like real powerful and she can eat and like got big muscles, and you can tell she probably kicks ass. But like, then she forgets that like where she's at doesn't have a moon and she can't transform. And she has like the best reaction faces, like constantly.
Zonic, what did you think of this episode?
I completely forgot how comedic this show can be at times. I knew it had its silly moments, but not a lot in one single episode. It's pretty great. I miss this style of 90s comedy with the way the facial expressions are animated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she straight up goes from feral beast to Mo cat girl. It's great. And like, she actually does act out all of the things in between.
Yeah. And then like gets blasted by a gun and is like laying on the floor, like twitching, and it's like goofy looking.
She's totally okay though.
Yeah.
Gets stuck washing dishes. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm gonna get them.
And then like it wasn't just her. Like there was also that scene where like Jean was like talking to Melfina and realizing that she's an android, and he's like pulling on her face and stretching her face out and stuff.
You're just like, does this come off?
And Caulifla's just like, that's sexual harassment. Remember that character?
Mm-hmm.
That character was great. Anyway, anything else?
They painted the ship, and there is some character named Fredlo that has not been introduced yet.
Nope.
Important character names such as Fred.
Yes.
Yep.
Fred and Jim and Jean. All these weird American names.
Well, Jean has a star wind at the end of it, so.
Yeah, it's still pretty American sounding.
Yeah.
I do appreciate, like, that is so egotistical to be like, point at your hair, paint it this color.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else?
I don't know.
I can't remember any like specific things from this episode.
It is the Aisha Clan show.
It was. I mean, they could make the whole show about her, and I'd be in 100%. It was so fun.
The crew is still not all gathered together yet.
Not
so
quite.
That's interesting.
Did you just said together? Kataro.
No, shut
up. We're
up.
being invented by the Kataro.
Clan.
Is that all?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, cool. Well, looking forward to more Outlaw Star.
Oh, yeah.
It's real good.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be it for this episode of the ToonamiGAF podcast. Thank you, Zonic.
Yep.
Thank you, B-Dubs.
Okay.
Thank you, C-Kohler.
No problem.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 75. Good night.
Later.